Yo, 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 welcome to Monster Men.
Yarg! Oh, it's like street.
That was very street.
Street.
That's how the kids say it.
Arg! To
All
your
right.
moms. Arg to your moms.
Put it to your mother.
What do we,
Your call today.
look, this episode is dedicated to Jerry Mulcahy. Nice. Who's done our graphics for Monster Men. He's done stuff for me. And I had asked him, I said, you know what?
Best golfer I've ever played with.
Really?
No.
I was going to say, I can't see Jerry being a good golfer.
No, but I suck too, so I love it.
All right. I have 170 handicap. I had asked him, I said, give me some ideas for some shows that we could do. Because whenever we do a show, Jerry always comes back with feedback about the show itself, an idea. I was like, all right, so tell me a show. He hit me with one that I was like, bolt of lightning. Went right through me. From my head to my toes. Came out in the lawn. I burned in the lawn. And I burned up tomato plants. This is like train of thought. So anyway, this episode is about science gone wrong.
He gave me this very same idea, and I ignored it.
I didn't. I'm down with it.
No, you know what it is? I always forget on the way over here.
When he said that, I said literally that could be a 7-hour podcast because
Or
horror.
7 minutes.
No, unless
Now, blinded
Yeah, I
by
hit
science,
with-
that's like,
she blinded me with the science.
good heavens, Miss Yakamoto. No,
Weird
beautiful.
science.
Weird science. Have you seen Kelly LeBrock lately? That's a horror show.
Yeah, I did. I saw her in person a couple of years ago.
We digress.
Horror conventions are awesome, but they can also destroy everything you've
all
ever
the,
thought about. We're filming this, by the way, in late June, and we're going to Scares That Care in Virginia, which is kind of like, for those of you who went to Horror Find, this is the new Horror Find. And I'm looking forward to having more illusions shattered. So anyway, science gone wrong.
Science Gone Wrong,
Horror.
as featured in
You're right.
Montauk Monster.
I didn't even think of that. Movies are just rife with science gone wrong. From Frankenstein, which is
That's
the
pretty
birth
much-
of science gone wrong, right? I mean, I can't think of anything that preceded that.
Phantom of the Opera. Now that was opera gone
No,
wrong.
I mean, Mary Shelley wrote this.
opera gone wrong.
There's nothing that goes right.
Yeah, really.
But, Mary Shelley, Wollstonecraft, she started the whole science gone wrong subgenre with Frankenstein, which to me, I'm actually thinking of getting a Frankenstein tattoo right over here, and a creature from the Black Lagoon right over here one day.
I was going to get Igor and Igor.
If you all buy enough books, I can get out of my 9-to-5 job, and I can do this kind of stuff, and you can see my work.
And just send me money so I can do this.
Invisible Man. Science gone wrong.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Science gone wrong. Re-Animator. Let's skip.
Science Gone Wrong.
Jeffrey Combs is possibly the greatest mad scientist of all time.
All right.
Jeffrey Combs is in 2 Science Gone Wrong movies.
What else is he in?
By the Usna brothers.
Besides-
Brian Usna.
The sequel to Re-Animator.
From Beyond.
Oh, I love that movie.
Based on an H.P. Lovecraft story. Based means they took like a sentence out of it.
You got to see From Beyond. We watched that after we did one of these. After I hadn't seen this since like high school, and that was one of those movies that, when I like differentiate myself from other people, like as a horror fan,
Right.
it's because I watched movies like From Beyond.
Oh.
I went to the video store, I found that, and me and my friend Tom, and after that, we're just like, we couldn't stop high-fiving. Like, that was the greatest movie.
Was that? That's a movie where is it Dr. Pretorius? Is that his name? Anyway,
What's his name from Dawn of the Dead in that?
Ken Foree is in that.
Yeah.
Yes, and
He runs around naked in that, doesn't he?
yes, the girl from Re-Animator, who was
Yes.
also in You're Next. Oh God, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. Put it down there. So anyway, they create a machine where you're able to see into another dimension, and this dimension has these swimming things and stuff, and they
stimulates the gland.
the pineal gland.
Yeah, you're good.
So it's like when your pineal gland is stimulated, you can see them, they can see you. Things sprout out of your head. You get eaten. It is.
Well, if you can
freaking
see
awesome.
them, they can see you.
Yeah. There was a scene, I was dating my wife at the time, and we were at my parents' house, and there's a scene where Jeffrey Combs, all his hair is gone, and he's got a thing sprouting out of his head, an eye, and he's in a lab eating a brain. And so he's just sitting there with a jar eating a brain, and she literally got up, went to the porch, and vomited. The only time my wife has ever lost her lunch. There were 2 movies where she had to stop. That and Sinister.
And your honeymoon when she first saw you naked.
That was terrible. But we were watching Edward Penis Hands, so all was good at the time. Which is one of the few movies you could rent in the Poconos video store.
Poconos.
Yeah, we went full on cheesy honeymoon. We were, I'll digress again, we were in a room that had the champagne glass tub. So you got that. We had our own pool in the room. We had a jacuzzi. We had a sauna, like 3 levels down. Here's the creepiest thing. This is true horror. You're sitting at you eat communally, so you're at these.
Really?
Yeah. You don't eat one-on-one. You eat with groups of people. And this guy comes over looking like Vic Ferrari from Taxi, and he says, he goes, so I hear you're at Champagne Towers. I take pictures of people in Champagne Towers in the tub. Would you like me to come up? We were like, oh God, no! I mean, he had chest hair with red ants crawling in it, like Gene Shalit. So gross. Totally horrifying. So we passed on that.
Is Edward Penis Hands a science gone wrong?
It is. It's, a normal guy with dildo fingers, which is a terrible affliction.
Yeah, totally.
But I mean, science gone wrong. There are just so many movies to name. And books, much like.
Would you consider, like, toxic waste affects, like, 8-legged freaks or zombievers? Toxic waste affecting, is that count or not? Because there's a lot of those, like, 50s horror movies where it's like, well, radiation made a giant monster.
See, that I would look at as nuclear waste gone wrong.
Okay.
Science gone wrong is when, like, The Fly. Any version of The Fly. There are 2 original Flies and 2 remakes.
The remake of The Fly with Jeff Goldblum is a great movie.
It is fantastic. Brendel Fly.
Like, if you watch the Vincent Price one, it's a classic movie.
I love
it's
the original.
And
I love the sequel. The original sequel, love.
I don't even remember it.
Do not love the Eric Stoltz Fly 2 version from the 80s. But the Jeff Goldblum version where he's vomiting on burning up legs and stuff. Great. Science gone wrong. Hit me with a science gone wrong, Jack. Come on.
Godzilla?
Godzilla. Is
No?
that science, though?
Well, I guess that goes under. He was caused by nuclear,
as Jimmy Carter would say.
That's George W. Bush. Nuclear.
You can even go into sci-fi about this. Here's one. Forbidden Planet. Which, here we go. We got Robbie the Robot over here and over here. They go, now that's with Leslie Nielsen when he was a leading man, and they go on some planet.
Oh, they eat the fish and everybody gets sick on the plane?
No! Stupid.
Surely you must be joking.
Stop calling me Shirley. So they go to a planet, and there's a doctor there played by Walter Pidgeon, and Anne Francis is his daughter. And there's a society that was living on this planet before, and he's found a way to channel it. And he's using his mind to create a monster that's killing people. Which, the soundtrack to Forbidden Planet turns my bowels to water to this day. It is the creep. It's like all the. It's the scariest.
Sounds like the Three Stooges.
It's a great movie. But that's a guy who, he's a scientist. He took advantage of an advanced science that he wasn't ready for, and almost killed himself and his child and everybody on the planet.
So, see, you would just sci-fi. There's always a link between sci-fi and horror.
An alien is the ultimate melange.
Yeah. So there's a lot of crossover. So, like, it's not a horror movie, but would you Blade Runner?
Blade Runner science gone wrong because they're making androids that are more human than human. Rob Zombie.
And replicants.
Oh my God, the Voight Comp test. I'll tell you, I do when I write, because I write, I need music, but not with words. So I've been listening to the Blade Runner soundtrack for 20 years to write every now and then. Which it follows the movie. That soundtrack is very similar to Blade Runner. So I'll often just plow through the both of them while I'm sitting down.
That It Follows music's great.
That's John Carpenter. We're gonna throw out 2 notes and just pound it in and make your pulse go.
Now, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is Science Gone Wrong.
Yes.
There were a lot of Dr. and Jekyll and Mr. Hydes. They seem to sort of stopped tapping that story.
Dr. Jekyll. Well, once Dr. Jekyll and Sister Hyde came out, you're pretty much done.
Like the last one I remember is like Mary Riley or something like that.
Oh,
Julia
Mary Riley, yeah.
With what's it, Malkovich.
Here's one: The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Oh yeah.
Which.
Oh no!
And whatever version, there is the
Marlon Brando version.
Oh my God, the Marlon Brando. The Marlon Brando version is movies gone wrong.
I could have been a werewolf. I could have been somebody instead of a bum, which is what I am. I want a little me, and I want a kimono. Pass me the butter.
Terrible, terrible. But you have to watch it. We grew up on the Michael York, Burt Lancaster version.
Yeah.
And then there's a version of Richard Lawton. He did back in the 30s or 40s. Those are all science gone wrong because those are movies about scientists mixing humans and animal DNA and
the mad scientist.
Must not shed blood. I love that. The Mad Scientist. The Mad Scientist is iconic.
Really, the Monster Mash comes from a mad scientist.
Right.
He's working in his lab late one night. Before you know it, Twitchylvania Twist is gone, and we've got a Monster Mash.
Look at... Oh, we just lost lights. Hold on. You know, I tell you all that I have a ghost in the house, and this ghost screws with everything in this house. Turns things on and off.
That was
In
my
every
first
room.
evidence of the ghost.
In every room, lights, everything goes on and off.
My friend, the ghost, who I love.
Who will never follow you home.
Shut up.
We were just doing Dr. Moreau. What was I talking about?
You were talking about how Bigfoot and the $6 Million Man was a robot. Science gone wrong.
Science gone wrong. Hashtag science gone wrong. In fact, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Watch this episode. Hit us up on Twitter. Hashtag science gone
Science
wrong.
gone wrong.
Throw
Trending.
yourself-
Actually, because we're going to miss a million of these. This is a
There's
great
so
idea.
many. It's
We
crazy.
just got a great social media idea. Watch this episode, hashtag science gone wrong, and give us a movie that we missed.
Yeah.
And then click the hashtag and see what everybody else.
Right.
Right.
And we'll make our stupid, pithy comments.
Yeah.
And we'll throw stuff out there, too.
God forbid we would have actually looked up a few movies before we did
We
this.
don't need to. We could come on and on, but we're not gonna.
Oh, you know what's a science gone wrong would be Deep Blue Sea.
Again, I might put that in Hollywood gone wrong. But that is science gone wrong.
What is this? Genetics. So, like, I mean, if you think about it, like the latest Jurassic Park movie,
Science gone wrong.
Science gone wrong.
Science
Jurassic Park. Science gone
Science
wrong.
gone wrong. Montauk Monster. Science gone wrong.
Science gone wrong.
Science gone wrong. Right wrong. So what do you
Bride
think?
of Frankenstein.
Which I just watched on Svengoolie.
Science gone wrong.
Hashtag Svengoolie. Hashtag science gone wrong. I had forgotten. It had been so long. The bride doesn't show up till 5 minutes before the movie's over.
Oh, right.
But it's still a great movie. It's almost better than Frankenstein.
A lot of people think it's better than Frankenstein.
I know they do. But now that I've watched them both recently close to one another, I still prefer Frankenstein.
What about Son of Frankenstein?
It's all right.
If you watch Son of Frankenstein and then Young Frankenstein, Young Frankenstein takes a lot from Son of Frankenstein.
It takes a lot from Bride
and
and
Son.
Son of Frankenstein, absolutely.
Nice grouping.
Did you know now the old guy in Bride of Frankenstein, remember when he goes to the cabin, the blind guy? He died like not long after the movie was made from pneumonia.
Really?
Yes. I learned that from watching
Svengoolie.
Loving Svengoolie! Thank you. If I can't have Elvira, who I heard there's going to be a new Elvira. A
Really?
younger, newer Elvira. Although,
The girl who should be the new Elvira is called Leanna Vamp. She's on the internet. She's smoking hot, and she's like totally. She
Really?
Be the new one.
oh, well, there are quite a few women I think could fill the shoes, but I still
You gotta
think,
fill the bra.
I still think Elvira's gorgeous.
Oh, she's awesome. She's got the best sense of humor.
She does.
Give me another science gone wrong. This is your idea.
Another science gone wrong. Lost in Space. Oh, I'm looking at the robots right there. Lost in space, science. We're gonna go take the Jupiter 2. We're going out, and then things go bad.
28 days later,
Science gone wrong.
that was a virus from a monkey.
Science gone wrong.
So there's got to be zombie movies where it came from a man-made virus.
That might be almost every zombie movie.
Return of the Living Dead. It's a chemical from
Yep.
Technically, that is science gone wrong.
Yes. Oh God, I just had one. It went. It went.
Wait, the Piranha 2 was like science gone wrong.
Piranha 2.
They're like flying piranhas.
Was that Piranha 40 Double D or whatever?
No, this was the original Piranha.
Oh, okay. The remake of Piranha is great.
Yeah.
That's another subject entirely. That's not science gone wrong. It's just Piranhas.
Has everything going right.
Yeah. See Piranha. Don't see the original.
Yeah.
Who did the original? Someone
James Cameron.
With James Cameron, that's right.
I believe the second one though was like they were flying piranha.
So stupid. So anyway, look, there's tons. I don't know. We could go on, but we're not gonna.
Were the
We're not
gargantuans?
gonna.
Remember the gargantuans?
Who are the gargantuans?
They're like a black and white movie. The big, like the Frankenstein looking guys.
Like Tokyo stuff?
Kinda.
I don't know. Well, anything from Tokyo is basically science gone wrong.
That
Smog
was-
monster. Gort was not science gone wrong. Oh, I killed him. Anyway, he was aliens gone wrong.
Gord!
Klaatu Barada Nikto!
Hashtag Gord!
Klaatu Barada Nikto! So, I think that was the idea of this show. Let's start a conversation with the show.
Yes.
So, tweet us, Science Gone Wrong. Hit us up on Facebook. Hit us up on our website. And let us know, what are your Science Gone Wrong favorites?
Yes, do our work for us.
Please, because we're lazy as shit.
Bastards.
So I think we've done this. Yorick. I knew. Oh, you're gonna throw it.
Throw this at you.
It's my grandpa's skull.
This reminds me of the bowling ball in Mystery Men.
It's Grampulio.
Alright,
Hmm.
so science gone wrong, and
Hashtag.
hashtag it, and we'll see you next time on
Monster Man.
Grr, arg.